Well, welcome to Renew US here tonight. It is Tuesday night, October the 4th, as I see it. And we have been talking about something special that we want to share right now. And it happens now and then. I wish it happened more now than then. I wish it happened more often. But one of the things that we want to inspire and encourage and, in fact, empower people to do is to start their own ministry. And Barbara, Sunbelt Girl, who is with us, a blip appeared on her radar, and she sent me a link to a very interesting fellow. And his first name is Robert. And on Twitter, I'm going to try to pronounce it, but it is, Christians _Amer, AMER, as in short for America. And on Twitter, you need to follow at Christians _AMER. Now, what's so special about Robert? Well, Robert does have a last name, and if you go to his website, which is christiansacrossamerica.org, you will find that he has his picture there, which you're going to see him in just a moment anyway. But he also has a last name. You can actually contact him. Now, it is not unusual for me to hit people up and say, we'd like to tell your story, but you'd be surprised how many don't call me back. But Robert did. So, Robert, I just wanted to invite you to come here and join us now. And I don't want to tell your story. I want you to tell your story. But basically, to get the ball rolling, folks, Robert has a vision and is putting that vision into action of placing billboards with a Christ-centered message. Robert, that's all I want to say, because I don't want to steal your thunder. But please tell us, as we talked about the other day, how the inspiration came to you. Just tell your story. We're very eager to hear.
Well, it was very simple. I was about a year and a half ago, I got a call from my mother, who lives in Phoenix, Arizona. I live here on the Monterey Peninsula in California, about 2 hours south of San Francisco. And but she was calling to say that she was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. And what I decided to do is try to have 1,000 people praying for my mother by the time I got there, which would be 3 days later. And by the time I got there, I had my inbox lit up, and I had 3,200 people praying for my mom. And
wow,
it was quite a journey, Mark. I was going back and forth every 3 to 6 weeks to get her through chemo treatments, and we did it so prayerfully. We had people praying for her like crazy. But one of the times specifically, I needed to get back to California, and she was in tremendous pain. This was probably 3 or 4 months into her treatments. She was only supposed to live 2 months, so we were blessed that she had made it 3 to 4 months. But one of these times, she was in such pain, and when I left her, I just thought I may not see her on this earth again. And I was driving back on I-10. I had to go to LA first before I come up here to Central California, and I was just crying out. I was emotionally a wreck. I just said, God, I know you can work this for good, and I trust you. Just show me what you want me to do. And at that very moment that I said that, I was going by and I saw a billboard that said available. And I'll never forget that moment.
That was the message, available.
Yeah, available.
That's a powerful message,
Yeah, and it just gave me the chills. It still gives me the chills because I remember how quickly he answered that. Well, at that time, my mind, I'm an analytical mind. I'm not in that billboard advertising. I'm not in the advertising industry. I'm just a certified valuation analyst that values businesses. And but since I'm a numbers guy, I'm sitting there crunching the numbers in my head going, yeah, this might be possible. So by the time I made it back home, I was talking to my wife about it, and she goes, well, first thing we need to do is pray. And we prayed, and we prayed. And as we prayed, things just started to happen. First of all, we were trying to find a name, and sure enough, christiansacrossamerica.org was available. I couldn't believe that because everything's taken, as well as .com. Next thing that happened is we filed for a 501c3. Normally that takes 9 months to get through the system, and it took 7 weeks. So I knew God wanted this done. Next thing is I was talking to a friend of mine. The friend says, hey, I know somebody, because he was building a church for Habitat Humanity in Mexico, and he says a person in our group was in the billboard business. Well, what are the chances of that happening? Next thing I know, I'm getting a hold. I didn't realize he was the CEO of Total Outdoor, Randy Swain. Randy Swain says, I am willing to let you use any of my people. He's got offices in Boston and Portland and Seattle. And so I'm on the phone with all of them crunching numbers. What's this going to take? Well, here it is. We're getting ready to launch all of this. We've created the website. We've created a couple of videos. And we are just so excited about it. In fact, one of the advisors, we wanted to make sure that we were not putting out there a pastor's message or a church's message or any specific message from this earth. We wanted to make sure that it was Jesus's message. That way, any denomination or non-denominational Christian can get behind it.
Right. All doctrinal issues just kind of go away.
Exactly. I mean, if you're going to argue with this message, you're going to have to take it up with Jesus Christ. It's that straightforward. And then, but one of the advisors, when we put a mock billboard together to look at the message, we decided that they're all going to be very similar. They're all going to just say at the top, Jesus said, and then Jesus' words like, do not be afraid, or do not let your hearts be troubled. And then have the Bible verse like John 14:1, and then at the very bottom put ChristiansAcrossAmerica.org. Well, we put the mock together, and then a friend of mine in Texas called and he says, Robert, the words need to be in red, just like the Bible. And as soon as he said that, it's like, of course. So that's what we're doing, is we're going to have Jesus' words in red, just like they appear in the Bible. And then what we'll do at the bottom, above our name, above ChristiansAcrossAmerica.org, we will have, can we pray for you? And that'll encourage people to come and put their prayer request in on our website. And I just got off the phone today with another gentleman that he has launched. This is something that's really starting to take off, but he's got a prayer app. And we're going to find a way to feed these prayer requests into the prayer app so that people around the world will be praying for people that have a prayer request on ChristiansAcrossAmerica.org. So we're really excited about that as well. So yeah, that's Mark. That's kind of it in a nutshell. We're just every door seems to be opening.